Tailor Tales. We are now heading to James Route Chapter 10, which means there's 17 more chapters if he does actually have 27 chapters. A couple of days passed by without incident. My time consists of waking up, drinking tea, and having breakfast, then going to the infirmary to work with Bilius. He has been quite helpful in teaching me how to apply first aid to the many different kinds of wounds the soldiers can sustain. It seems to be the majority of the healer's job here, taking care of injured soldiers. Though I do see Bilius working on something else every now and then, he won't tell me much about it. I'm just glad he's willing to teach me. Today, however, it seems he's busy with someone. The curtains are drawn close, hiding them from any prying eyes. I hear a small yelp from someone, followed by some muffled talking. Then the curtains open up, revealing Bilius and... "Oh, hello, Nornus," I greet him. I haven't seen him since I met him in the garden. Upon seeing Nornus' anxious face transformed to a happy one. "Michiko," he greets me cheerfully. "You shall address him as Prince Nornus," Bilius brings to my attention. "Right, Prince Nornus," I correct myself. "It's okay, she's new, right? Do you work here, or are you sick too?" he asks. "I guess I work here," I say unsure. Does it still count when I'm being forced? "And what are you doing here? Are you sick?" Nornus looks down at the floor. "I feel fine, but my brother doesn't seem to think so. He says I'm sick." "Prince Nornus, that's enough. Please return to your chambers," Bilius insists. "You should come to my garden again if you have time," says Nornus as he walks past me. I know that place is off limits, but I can't help it. He's too nice to reject. "Sure," I say. Bilius gonna be like, "Hey, girl, no." Bilius sighs once Nornus leaves the infirmary. "Is he really sick?" I ask. "I'm not at liberty to discuss that," he says in a stoic voice. "Please don't concern yourself with the prince's health." Knowing I shouldn't tread any further, I heed his warnings to stop questioning him about Nornus. "Perhaps you'd like to gain some experience in the field today," he asked, changing the subject. "You mean outside the infirmary? Would you like to accompany me to the training grounds today?" "Yes," I say eagerly. I was getting a little sick of this routine, so it's nice to go somewhere else, especially after seeing that gorgeous garden and not being able to visit it anymore. "Alright, here, take the kit with you," he says as he hands over a small case of supplies. Someone always gets hurt during training. Together we leave the infirmary. It's much bigger than I expected, with one part of being covered and one part uncovered. There are mats on the floor that feel softer than the usual tile. There are soldiers working in groups, practicing their close combat skills. Some of them are using long spears to spar. There's a shooting range as well, using weapons that fire projectiles. I think they use those to attack Earth. I wonder if I could snap a picture while no one is looking at me. This information could be super useful back on Earth. Trying to be inconspicuous, I fish my cell phone out of my skirt, powering it on without anyone being able to tell. I open up my camera app and quickly snap a couple of pictures of the surroundings without anyone noticing. Even Bilius, whose back is turned towards me, has no clue. Then I see a familiar face on my screen and I immediately put away my phone. "Princess Michiko." I'd recognize that shriek from anywhere. It's Eok. He definitely saw me holding my phone. Does he know what it is? I sure hope not. He smiled at me, not giving any indication that he's going to mention a strange device in my hands. I'm actually so happy to see his goofy smile. "Hey, Eok. Why are you here? Why are you here? This here place is not safe for you," he says, a little concerned. "The princess is here to observe me and act as my assistant," Bilius explains. "Ah, of course, he returns to me. Then Princess will see how Eok fight." Indeed, are you any good at it?" He meekly looks away. Eok still grunt, but try best. "Healer Bilius, why are you here?" Another person joins the conversation. "There's someone I didn't wish to see at all." At least my main girl and I are in the same wavelengths. We do not care for James at all at this point. Arms crossed and a perpetual pissed off look on his face. Captain James. "I'm here in case anyone needs urgent care, of course," Bilius explains as a matter of fact. "What's she doing here as well?" James' brown eyes land on me. Why? You don't want me spying your training?" "No, I'm not really here, bro. I'm tagging along to be his assistant," I explain. "The training grounds are no place for an earthling like you," he says. "Why not?" "You possess no combat skills. You're extremely frail, and you have the slowest reaction time I've seen so far." I puff out my cheeks. "That's just rude." "Prince James, so take it out on her. She is my assistant today. I need the extra help. I've been noticing an influx of soldiers arriving at the infirmary with injuries since you've returned." "That sounds a lot like you're saying the training I devised is flawed." "I am saying that," he responds, honestly glaring at James. These two definitely don't see eye to eye. "Eok!" James yells all of a sudden. He jumps in surprise. "Yes, Captain?" "Let's show everyone our training regimen is perfected beyond belief. Face me on the mats." Yes, Captain, says Eok, his voice full of uncertainty. Wait, they're gonna have a match. Isn't James ridiculously strong, though? He snapped Jilug's neck without any effort and threw Rai against the wall with a flick of his hand. Eok can barely hold his own against the other, beefier soldiers. Come, sit here, Princess Michiko, says Bilious and points to a bench at the side of the wall where we can survey all the action. I'm sure we'll be needed in a second. James and Eok walk into the middle of the mats, everyone clearing an area for them. Hand-to-hand combat only, no weapons, says James, narrowing his eyes on Eok. It feels like he's a wolf preying on the sheep. Ready, states Eok as he puts up his hands, balling them into the fists. James starts circling Eok, hands not raised at all. He doesn't assume a fighting position. Eok looks too hesitant to make the first move, so he just follows James along the sides. We didn't train you to do nothing. Attack, James hisses. Eok lunges forward with his right fist, aiming at James' face. Yet the fist never makes contact with anything solid. It hits something but air. James has somehow dodged it without me noticing. Again, James commands, walking around Eok. Flustered Eok throws out another punch, a slap, a punch, a shove. James deflects the attacks and counters with ease. Eok stumbles away on his feet, barely able to stand up straight. Oh, damn. Oh, he punched Eok in the face. He's so damn fast, and it doesn't even look like he's putting any effort into it. He thrusts his... okay, I guess we're continuing. James raises his arms up, pushing Eok underneath his armpit, slamming him onto his back with his elbow. At the same time, he knees Eok's stomach. Eok doubles over with a cough. I clasp my hands over my mouth to swallow a gasp. Are you okay? I call out in worry. Eok lifts himself up from the floor, grumbling something under his breath. He ignores my question and faces James, glaring at him. This fight is feeling very one-sided. James smirks. Seems now you want to take it seriously. Eok rushes forward, attacking James with a flurry of punches and swings. James either dodges or deflects without breaking a sweat, making as minimal moves as possible. I can clearly tell Eok is outclassed, as he's getting countered each time. He's taking hit after hit, James showing no mercy on him. Eok is struggling to stay on his feet, and finally all he's doing is blocking and defending against James' attacks. They become more vicious, faster. Eok can't keep up and yelps out in pain. James delivers a blow to Eok's jaw, causing him to go down like a rag doll. That looked like it really hurt. Eok stays motionless on the mat. I'm about to rush over to him, but Bilious holds up his hand, urging me to stay. I see him stir and raise up his head, a little disoriented. Good, he's not unconscious. I feel a horror wash over me as I see James advance on Eok's body, ready to kick him while he's down. I get up from the bench and conjure a thread from my fingers, wrapping them all around Eok's waist. Using all my strength to snap the threads back, making Eok's body slide across the mat away from James's foot. James looks up in anger. He sees me, and I just glare back. Kicking someone who's down is just unnecessarily cruel. I stare at him. Eok brushes the threads away from his waist, and I dissolve it. He quickly gets up, fear reflecting in his eyes. Princess, don't! Who said you could interfere in our training? James bellows, walking up to me. All the soldiers quit fighting as our voices carry across the room. Their eyes are on us now. Clearly, you're much stronger than him. You were just beating him up senselessly. Someone had to stop you. The princess has a point I'm inclined to agree with. Bilious takes my side. The less injuries, the better. War is gritty and cruel. The enemy will not hesitate to kill you when you're down. You are living in a fantasy of petty ideals, he huffs. All that matters is being strong and surviving. You don't make someone stronger by beating them up, I counter. That's exactly how it goes, and I will not tolerate any dissidence. Strength is all that matters. If you're weak, you die. If you're down, you get right back up or you die. I can tell he's heated up, but I just won't stand for him beating up Eok without him having a fighting chance. Pick on someone your own size. How can he learn anything if the fight was his to lose from the start? I growl back. She is right, another voice joins the conversation. Oh, Caleb, get your brother. Caleb enters the scene, stepping onto the mats with a cocky smirk on his face. Come spar with me. I'm sure I'm much more of a challenge than some grunt. James presses his lips into a thin line, his eyebrows lowering. I can tell he wants to yell at me even more, perhaps send me away, but Caleb sent him a direct challenge he can't refuse. I'm starting to figure out how all of these ranks work. Eok bows politely in front of James before scurrying off the mats. Bilius flags him over to do a quick checkup and make sure he's okay. I want to be concerned about Eok, but I can't take my eyes off of the brothers, who are staring at each other as if they're playing mind games. There's this intensity between them that's hard to ignore. I have a feeling they both won't be holding back. James bends through his knees and turns his back towards Caleb. His hands finally up in a fighting position. Caleb mirrors his stance. Oh boy. Yep. These two are serious. I accept the challenge, says James. Eok pulls me aside. Princess, stay back, he warns me. I stay confused. But I'm nearly blown off my feet as a strong gust of wind erupts between the two men. Eok stabilizes me and forces me to sit down. I can barely tell what's going on. I see the two brothers clashing against each other on the mats, delivering blow after blow, parrying, blocking, countering. There's so many fighting moves I can't follow along anymore. This fight is on a whole different level than the one with Eok. Captain James holding back with Eok, he says. No reason to interfere. So James did go easy on him. I didn't realize. It didn't look like it from where I was standing. Caleb throws a high kick towards James' ribs, which gets parried, and followed up by an immediate counter. James manages to land a blow, which makes Caleb grunt out and stagger backwards. Caleb rose the side of his jaw. He looks really pissed off for James getting a clean hit in. I'm surprised by how much he's losing his composure. Is that all you got? Caleb taunts his brother. Seems you still don't know your place, James fires back, just as arrogantly. This enrages Caleb, and he charges an attack, anticipating it. James easily blocks it. They're back to trading blows again. It's hard to follow even with my keen eyesight. Caleb grabs James' arm and forces him into a headlock. Except James flips Caleb over his entire body, who lands on his feet and turns around, suddenly removing the top half of his armor. In turn, James does the same, matching his brother's actions. Why is everyone suddenly stripping? God, these two brothers are so beefy. Seems they're getting serious, Bilius ventures dryly. That sounds concerning, I say. It is. Please pay attention to your surroundings. You may get hurt. I think I would have preferred to stay in the infirmary at this point. Caleb yells and punches James in his face. James spits out some blood, his eyes serious and focused. He's gotten more scars than Caleb, but I think it's because he's like commander, right? And he takes the punishments from people. Caleb looks pleased for landing a hit. His arrogant smirk gets wiped off his face when James lands an unexpected kick on his shin, flooring him. Not stopping there, James is about to punch him in the face, but Caleb rolls across the mat, dodging it. He recovers quickly, glaring at James. And then suddenly they're not on the mats anymore. They're flying, continuing their fight unabated. But this time they're in mid-air. The intensity and speed of their attacks is making wind blow all over the place, messing up my hair. Everyone around us has stopped training to witness the sparring match. They're cheering them on, yelling out the name of whoever they think is going to win. Surely Captain James is the best, our undefeated champion. Captain Caleb's determination is unrivaled. A strong punch against Caleb's jaw makes him go flying across the wall, knocking over a bunch of equipment and weapons. James lands in front of him. I'd finish it while you're down, but it seems that tactic is too uncouth for the princess' feeble eyes. James mocks him. I let out a puff of noise in response. Suddenly, James is knocked off his feet as Caleb barrels him down. Wait, he's glowing. Now both his eyes are blue. Oh, and he's got those tribal markings on his skin as well. You can be as underhanded as you like. I'm not going to stop you. Caleb's voice has changed somewhat. It sounds more unhinged. Scoffing, James picks himself back up, getting ready into a stance. Caleb's posture and movements have changed. They're different from before. They're more fluid but also unpredictable. James has a hard time keeping up with him. This is what I was afraid of, Bilius sighs. This is not going to end well. I turn to him. What do you mean? You'll see. Caleb punches James in his stomach, causing him to plant both feet on the mat to brace himself. What's this? Our little captain can't take a hit. Caleb mocks him. His speech has gotten a lot less formal. Captain Caleb, control yourself, James snaps at him. Caleb appears behind James in an instant, elbowing him in his neck. Just die, he hisses. Oh, damn. A faster scuffle breaks out. It's hard to make out where punches are flying and if they're landing, but James has a difficult time keeping up with this new and improved Caleb. It's like he's got a strength buff whenever those markings show up. Well, it didn't matter anyway. Caleb gets thrown across the mat by James, crashing into a couple of nearby soldiers. He doesn't care about the damage. He gets right back up, flying straight at James. Captain Caleb, get a hold of yourself before I have to take you down, James warns. Take me down? Caleb laughs out loud. You couldn't even take me down. You couldn't even take down HX 108. That's a jab. This seems to be a sore issue for James because all of a sudden his eyes glint light blue as well. I blink and completely miss it. James simply vanishes into thin air. He appears behind Caleb, and their movements are so fast it's impossible to figure out what's going on. All I hear is them hitting each other, with Caleb grunting more often. It seems now that James has glowing marks. He can keep up much better. I think he's overpowering Caleb. Then James holds Caleb in a chokehold, his arms snaked around his neck. Phase back now, James yells at him. Eat my fist, Caleb. Caleb laughs maniacally as he escapes the chokehold. It's so strange to see this side of Caleb. He's been so polite the couple of times we've met. Now he's like a whole other person. That's what happens when Prince Caleb phases. He becomes this uncontrollable monster, Billy explains. Only Captain James can stop him, York joins in. Phases, I repeat. The markings, it's in their species. It makes them stronger, faster, and tougher. And crazy? I asked, looking at how unhinged Caleb has become. Billy closes his eyes. No, this is unique to Prince Caleb. It is a condition of his. Which means Captain James is fine and stronger, I muse. That is correct. They are a very powerful race. How come they aren't always in that mode, I ask. Makes sense to always be in this state if it means you're stronger. Billy gives me a sympathetic smile. No power comes without consequences. Look closely. Prince Caleb is getting sloppier. And he's sweating. He's right, Caleb is getting slower and isn't able to dodge James' attacks anymore, only deflecting them at best. Stop what you're doing, phase back, James says in a calm voice. Stop chattering and fight me, Caleb yells at him in frustration. Caleb picks up one of the fallen spears on the mat and starts using it to hit James. With more range to his attack, James has to dodge them skillfully. It's strange to say, but looking at these two glowing men fighting each other like this, it's almost like a dance. It's a little mesmerizing, to be honest. James manages to kick Caleb away. In his rage, Caleb throws a spear directly at James like a javelin. Javelin? He deflects it with his hand, not even flinching. Wait, no, the spear's coming straight at us! I scream, scrambling to jump out of the way. It all goes by so fast. Yog tugs me on my arm, pulling me out of the harm's way, but it's too late. Yikes, my dude! I mean, thank God that's not where your heart is, but like... Ouch. My bad. I'm just in the way. Something warm splatters my face as I'm pushed against the wall with James' body pressed up against me. I blink several times, seeing only his naked chest in my view. My heartbeat is spinning out of control. James breathes out slowly as his blue eyes gaze into mine. He's wincing, grinding down on his teeth. I gasp loudly when I finally notice a spear sticking out of James' shoulder. It would have sliced my neck if he didn't block it. It tore a hole straight through his body. It's exactly why this is no place for an earthling like you. Alright, I get it. I will leave. James grunts in pain as he pushes himself away from the wall. I can finally breathe again. That's a little terrifying. Prince Caleb, stop staring in shock and help break the end off of this projectile, Billy speaks up. Caleb shakes his head, his eye color returning back to brown, his markings fading. James, he took that spear from me. That could have killed me. I can't believe it. I wake up drenched in my own sweat again. The tea. I have to take the tea. I roll out of bed and scramble towards the small table where the cup of tea is. It's cooled down by now and still tastes as bitter as ever, but my body feels so much better once I down it. Getting used to this will take a while, knowing I'll die if I don't take this medicine. That's when I notice a certain other bodily function that has been conveniently missing for over a month. The cramping, the wetness, my period has finally started. Due to the entire stress I've endured, it's thrown my cycle off, so I haven't had to worry about it all this time. And now that it's here, it's making me cranky. I need to wear something to catch the blood. I can't go around bleeding all over myself. That's so unclean. I want to retain some of my dignity as a woman. I look over at the bed and all the colorful pillows. Well, time to use what I can get my hands on. The fabric tears easily as I rip it apart. I fashion a crude pair of underwear out of it using my thread. A knock on the door alerts me as soon as it slides open. Princess Machiko, it is I, Captain Caleb, he announces himself. He takes a tentative step inside, but holds his breath when he sees me on the floor, torn fabric lying about. I stutter, unable to form a proper greeting. Suddenly he rushes over to me, bending down his knee to my level. There's a concerned expression on his face. He stares at me with his good eye. My princess, are you hurt? Are you bleeding anywhere? I mean, I technically am. This is awkward. My face colors quickly and I turn away. Can he smell my period? Why is it that Caleb always seems to find me in embarrassing situations? Because that's what the second support character does. He's always there when you're really, really down bad in your darkest moments, but he's not the one you end up going for. That's crazy. That makes no sense, apparently. I'm fine. Captain Caleb, please do not worry about me. I just want to change of undergarments. I adjusted towards the torn fabric. I didn't have much choice but to use pillows. Caleb leans in closely to me, sniffing the air. I'm positive I smell blood on you. Like I said, do not worry, I'm okay. I quickly interrupt him and back away. Caleb examines me with his brown eye, staying silent as he studies every detail. I'm reminded of his training with James yesterday when his eye turned blue and those markings were carved in the skin. The way he impaled James with that spear. Honestly, it was a little terrifying to be so close to certain death again. Not to mention I saw a whole other side of Caleb, from the prim and proper rulebook guy to someone unhinged and reckless. I don't care, I still love him. Caleb finally gets up from the floor and stands straight. He offers me a hand. Farewell, please allow me. A little hesitant, I accept his hand and he pulls me to my feet. Princess, I wish to apologize for my behavior yesterday. That is why I'm here. I don't think there's anything to apologize for. Yes, there is. I had almost harmed you due to my own carelessness. It was an unsightly display, he says in a stern voice. I was lucky to have my brother step in before you got hurt. How is he? I asked, slightly curious. After yesterday's training, James was carted off towards the infirmary. I didn't get to help this time. I was sent straight to my room. James, he did save my life that day. He's doing well, though he has to rest his right arm and shoulder for a day. Jeez, only a day? It's ridiculous how fast to recover. I still have a slight bruise on my wrist from when James held me. Caleb bows in front of me in a very polite manner. Please accept my apology by letting me take you out to the market so that you may purchase new garments. My ears perk up. Going out, leaving the palace, possibly buying clothes. The thought of going out to see the actual ground for once instantly lifts up my mood. But I thought I wasn't allowed to leave the palace, I point out, and tap the restrictive drawer on my arm. Caleb follows my line of sight, then plasters on a confident smirk. When you're as accomplished of a captain as I am, you get certain perks. I would have to ask for permission, possibly bring more guards, but it is not impossible. I eagerly smile at him. Then yes, I'd love to go. When can we go? Caleb seems a little surprised at my enthusiasm. I should check with my superiors. However, I hope to take you tomorrow. The sooner the better, I say. Then it is settled. Caleb bows to me once more. And are you sure you're not in need of any assistance? His eyes travel downwards. Yes, I'm good. I'm good, I shriek. Please stop bringing it up. Farewell. Good day, Princess Michiko. Caleb politely takes his leave. Once he's left, I put on the makeshift underwear for now. It'll have to do. Psh, a makeshift underwear? Hell no. My day one is an ocean. So there is no way that is going to help me. But anyway, thank you guys for watching today's episode. Stay beautiful, and I'll see you guys in the next one.